Well, folks, it's the end of an era. This is the last weekly candle. No! But before you do anything drastic, I have a plan and I think you're going to like it. But first of all, just a little bit of history. These little candle videos now have been going jeepers for nearly a year. In the teeth of lockdown number 1, quite a lot of us found that this little daily rhythm of lighting the candle at 6 o'clock or thereabouts and saying the prayer, it was just a little bit of a lifeline. So in the end, reached number 100 and lit our candles for that 100th live on Zoom. I will never ever forget it. Then it was the start of July. The sun was shining, the restrictions were easing, the holidays were coming. It seemed like life was starting to kind of breathe again, and so we scaled back the frequency a little bit. We didn't want to let the whole idea go altogether, but we scaled it back to being the weekly candle, and we have now had 21 of those. I love these very significant numbers. 100 daily candles, 21 weekly candles. So we've been going now for exactly half a year. We've continued some of our grand old daily candle traditions, like the occasional tour in hands, although over the summer this year, rather than taking you to the wilds of Norway or the sun-drenched beaches of Europe, we took you around Greater Northern Ireland, which was kind of lovely in its own way. Another daily candle tradition that we continued was to celebrate local artists, and Doris showed us some of her incredible paintings.
A scene in the mornings taken just before there's a big shower. Get your head showered.
And another tradition I was really keen to maintain was poetry. We've found such healing and strength from poetry this year.
Another visit to the emergency poet. But that was the pearl of great price, the one field that had treasure in it.
But the bare limestone rock is gentle underfoot. There is no loneliness here, only a warm and welcoming solitude.
This is the time to be slow. Lie low to the wall until the bitter weather passes.
I rhyme to see myself, to set the darkness echoing.
Now, the last voice you heard there was Helen's, and as well as being one of our poets, Helen is also our tour guide. She is our local historian. There's not much that Helen can't do, so she took us on a couple of really interesting tours around local ancient Christian sites.
I am standing in the chancel of Grey Abbey, just a bit outside Newtownards, a 12th century priory.
And on that theme of looking to the past for strength, we also had a little look back at the life of RBG.
I say, well, when they're 9, and people are aghast.
We visited a mist-shrouded Naka War Memorial on Remembrance Sunday. And some of our glimpses of the past weren't quite so deep and profound. We spent 1 week looking back at the joy of the Rubik's Cube.
Over 3 billion combinations, but just one solution.
And a week in the indescribable excitement of my P3 storybook. I came to a sand dune. I said, yikes, my camel did a stunt. I fell off into a pit. My camel didn't stop. Then, as well as looking to the past for inspiration, we've also had a few weekly candles about looking towards the future. We had some really good inspiration from Dawn about the choices and decisions that we make.
Well, all I could focus on was the paths, many paths going off in different directions.
We went for a misty walk up at the north coast and talked about how the misty, uncertain future can sometimes become clear as we walk along the path. And the natural world was also the inspiration for Joan's candle on the subject of change.
The seasons, nature, stars, comets, all change each day we travel around the sun. Sun, moon, gravity, the tides that come and go twice a day, leaving a different pattern on the sand. Nature adapts to change, and so do we.
And then some of our weekly candles were just about the things that are helping us to thrive and not just survive through this year. We had a whole candle all about our different pets, all the different animals that bring us joy, and the animals that make us laugh. And we had a couple of candles about our garden, where you could kind of see us go from the vision of something to do with cairns to then the prayer gardens starting to be built and the ideas starting to bubble up to what we have now, this beautiful, imaginative, creative space where anybody and everybody can take a little moment in prayer. And that's actually led to this is something that's happening this week that I'm really excited about. We're sending out a map and an invitation, not just to everybody in the church, but everybody in BT8, and hopefully it goes beyond that as well. Just an open invitation. You don't need to belong to Belvoir Parish to just come along and spend a bit of quality time with God in that beautiful garden. Just remember to bring your boots if it's a wet day. So that kind of brings us up to date. 100 daily candles, 21 weekly candles, and here we are. Next Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent, and the start of a new thing called, with incredible imagination, the Advent candle, every day from next Sunday until Christmas Eve. So before we light the candle each day, we're going to have one person sharing a little thought about their favourite line from A Christmas Carol. Or at least I hope we are. I haven't asked anybody yet. Well, this is me asking you now. If you would like to be involved in this, please, it'd be brilliant if it's not me blithering away every day. Please send in your videos and your thoughts, your favourite line from A Christmas Carol. We're not going to really get to sing out Christmas carols at the tops of our voices this year, I don't imagine, but they are the most incredible pieces of music, and they have some of the most beautiful words as well. So if there's a particular line that just brings the whole Christmas story alive to you, just send us a little quick video, and every day I bet you we can find at least enough lines for the whole way up to Christmas. We could probably keep going far beyond it as well, but if we get a different line from a different carol every day from now to Christmas, that'll do us well. And then we'll light our candles each day and keep praying that prayer each day for light in a dark world, and hope in a fearful heart, and peace in a troubled soul.